And today we switched it up. I got a good brother of mine on here today. My good brother Jay. He's actually my coworker, and he's a traveler, and he's investing in a vacation home, and we're going to talk briefly about it, and just get into it. You know, so as you can see, he's on his lunch break. You know what I mean? Getting to the
Right.
bag. You know what I'm
the,
saying?
the
Because that's
grind
the
don't
money.
stop. The grind
That's
don't
that's
stop.
the money that pays the bills. That's the money that's paying for what he's doing right now. You understand what I'm
Facts.
saying? So let's get right into it, man. Thanks for having you on the channel, brother.
I appreciate you
And
having me, bro.
yeah. It's all the way up from here, kid. It's all the way up. You know. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, what do you do in Brooklyn, and what inspires you to build a home in Dominican Republic?
Okay, well, I've been traveling. First off, I'm originally from Long Island.
Okay.
Originally from Long Island. Moved to Brooklyn in like 2009. Been living out
Okay.
here since then. And once I moved out here, I don't know. I got away from my friends from Long Island. Things was just different from me out there.
Mm.
My people just want to do regular stuff, smoke weed, bag chicks. So once I moved out to Brooklyn, I kind of just changed my whole surroundings. And then I took my first trip in 2016. I was 36 at the time. I'm 45 now. So I took my first trip out of the country at 36. And bro, once I did that, it was just like it just opened up my whole mindset to a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And once I started traveling, my first trip was on a cruise, and then after that, I went to TNT, Trinidad and Tobago, and then that same year in 2016, I went to DR, and went to DR, met a chick out there. She pretty much had me all over DR the 7 days that I stayed there, and I pretty much fell in love, bro. I mean, I fell in love with the culture, the women, the food. I just when I seen other people like me, because
Mm-hmm.
as you know, Dominican people, they come as light as white and as dark as me. You know what I mean? So when I seen that, I'm like, man, there's literally Hispanic people that look like me. So I kind of felt at home, and then after that 7 day trip, bro, I found myself back there 3 months later, and this is pretty much where we at now. It has led me to invest, build a house, and this is pretty much where I'm at now. I tell people, man, you never know where life may lead you until you just step outside of the box. Like I said, 36 years old, my first time out of the country, and who would ever known that at 45 I'll be building a house in Dominican Republic. you know? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Wow,
So that's
that's
pretty much
amazing,
my
man.
story. Yeah, yeah.
That hit home, man. So why did you start a vacation home instead of jumping straight into a rental property?
Um, well, because I felt like, I'm 45, bro. I don't know how much more time I got. You know what I'm saying? And my
I got you, my
mentality
G.
now, bro, is the time is now. The time is now. And yeah, the time is now. I'm on the phone. I'm on a call. Yeah, the time is now. You know what I mean? My grandmother died at 62. I think I was in my 20s, and she worked all her life, bro. Just worked all her life. Didn't even get a chance to enjoy her retirement. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And seeing that, I'm like, nah. That's not gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this country, we've been indoctrinated to believe that we gotta work towards we till we 65 in order
Yeah.
to enjoy. It's no guarantee that I'm gonna be here. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I decided, you know what, let me build this house, and I did it pretty much out of pocket. I took out a small loan, but I'm like, yo, I'm 45. By the time I hit 50, bro, I want to be chilling and enjoying the fruits of my labor. That's
Facts.
the idea. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, always having that work mentality, trying to make money, trying to flip, trying to double something can be a little exhausting and overwhelming,
Hmm.
and being able to invest in something where it's more of a leisure, you know, and being able to be calm and don't have to worry about anything could be that can be very therapeutic, and it can help with longevity as far as the lifespan
Mm-hmm.
is concerned. So
Right.
I salute to that, and you investing in that itself. So can you describe the design and vision for your vacation home? Like, what are the key features that it has that make it special?
I think the most thing that makes it special is the inside of the home. The fact of the matter, because my property is not that big.
Okay.
I had to make use of what I had, so I figured, okay, you know what? Since the land space ain't that big, I'm gonna compensate for the inside. So what I did was I made a pool inside the home.
Mm,
Like a courtyard kind of, like, you know what I'm saying. So I did a pool inside the home, and I wanted to make it to whereas I can entertain inside and outside. So I got an indoor pool, I got a balcony, and then on once I'm done with the second level, I'm gonna
oh,
have it'll have the ability to walk up onto the roof, and then I have a cabana up there, and some a little tiki bar. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty much my vision, overlooking the mountains. I tell people, yo, in DR, if you got the money and the vision, man, you can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You can make it happen. Yeah.
Ah, well, that's what's up, man. So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced during planning and the building process?
Ooh, man, oh man. Biggest challenges. I mean, I tell people, it doesn't matter where you're building, whether you're building in DR, Jamaica, Costa Rica, being a foreigner, and building in another country, we really have to protect ourselves. We already looked at as a target. People have no idea how hard we got to work. You know what I mean, to make it happen. You know what I mean. So, what ends up happening is we end up getting screwed over. You know what I mean. So those are the kind of challenges I have experienced. So I tell people who are walking into this, you got to do your due diligence by making sure you do your homework and your research in terms of pricing everything out, nails, cement block. That way you have an idea of how much
Mm-hmm.
things are going to cost you, so that when you are ready, can't nobody pull an okey doke on you and tell you, yo, cement blocks is going to cost this much. And nah,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure you go. And even if it takes time, I think what the biggest challenge for a lot of us is timing.
Mm.
By the time we get off that plane, the clock starts. So it's like, we don't have a whole lot of time to do, all of what we want to do. So we depend on our project managers, our builders, we depend on them, to do the right thing. But in my case, man, I kind of went through three builders, just to say the least. But the last guy I got, man, he's gonna do the right thing and make sure everything gets done. But I have been very transparent, what my view is about my shortcomings, only because people need to know, like, yo, this shit ain't easy, man. It's not easy, and I don't want to tell somebody that, make a person feel like, my transition and doing this whole building shit is easy, because it's not. Especially if you don't got somebody that you can trust and depend on to help you get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's crazy, man. It actually goes into my next question. How did you manage the construction remotely while working full time?
Well, I always tell people, you got to have somebody you can trust. So, I had a local that, was my friend of mine, is just managing my project, making sure, everything is getting done correctly. And, I tell people, even though you might have somebody managing your shit, at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to manage your stuff the way you're going to manage it. You know what I'm saying? So, I always tell people, man, if you can be there, even if you got to sacrifice taking a month or 3 weeks off, just to get whatever it is you need to get done, I always say it's better that you're physically there. You know what I mean? Because as y'all know, that good old saying, when the cat's away, mice to play. You know what I'm saying? So,
True.
it's always better to be there to watch your construction go on, so that you don't got to worry about any mishaps in the future. Yeah.
That's true. That's true, man. Did you ever think about having like maybe keeping like a ring camera there or some type of device so you can watch it while you're away?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I got cameras surrounding my whole property, so
Wow,
I can actually see my property on my phone right now.
that's what's up.
What's what's going on? Oh yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
yeah.
So, what has been the most surprising or unexpected part of building a home in Dominican Republic?
I would say the unexpected would be the cost of materials going up. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I started building my home, during the pandemic.
Mm,
And prices jumped and quadrupled during the pandemic. Inflation hit us all. So that
wow.
was some of the challenges that I faced, because initially, like, I had planned on doing another floor plan for a home that I wanted to do, but I had to change my plans only because I just didn't have the kind of money that I wanted in order to do the initial home that I was trying to build. So that
Mm,
was one of the main challenges that I have faced, in the beginning. Yeah, yeah.
wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because I know pandemic. When you want to mail something, it was taking forever. It was just crazy. So I know patience played a big role in that beginning process.
Man,
You know.
I can't stress to you enough, because we're from New York, man. We're accustomed to everything being done in a New York minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just gonna say Dominican Republic. I think anywhere outside of New York, the tri-state area, we when we go to other countries and other states, we just have a certain expectation in terms of things being done timely. But I tell people, yo, especially in DR, that kind of mentality, it will humble you, man. It will definitely humble you, because
Mm.
if a Dominican tell you, hey, yo, I'm gonna be there at 2 o'clock, that day, more than likely they're not gonna get there till about 6, and then they showing up like nothing ever happened. Yeah, man, like yo, like ain't nothing ever happened, and you looking at the clock like, bro, you
Like, what's
supposed to been
good?
here. You supposed to been here. You supposed to be here at 2 o'clock. You know what I
It's six
mean?
o'clock.
Yeah, and they show up like like it's nothing.
Nothing
It,
happened.
like nothing happened, and then get mad at you if you got an attitude. You like,
But you know
yo.
what though? It's a good and bad thing, right? The good part about it is
Hmm.
that when you do decide to ever move out there, or when you just go
Uh
out there
huh.
in general just to visit, you know that when you go out there, they're not on a rushing energy. That type of
Hmm.
energy when you go somewhere, it's always rushing. Like in New York, everybody
Yeah.
has to be on time.
Yeah.
Everybody's rushing. Like if
Hmm.
you're late, it's like the world is over. So at least when you go out there, it's like, yo, it's calm. Everybody's at their own pace. But when it comes to business, at least, okay,
uh,
so at least mentally, you can say, okay, you can set time frames where you can say, oh, if they're gonna be late, then prepare for them to be 2 to 3 hours late, if that makes sense. I mean, it
yeah.
could be a little
Hmm.
unfortunate, but at least, try to make that work to your advantage. That might help you a little bit.
I think
Um,
I find it, like, for me, when I do, I would say in the beginning,
mhm,
I would
mhm.
be I would feel like I gotta get everything done in a certain time. And my boy be like, yo, Hermano, tranquilo, tranquilo, relax.
Relax,
You're not,
relax.
you're not home. You're not in New York. You gotta take it easy.
You're
And
not
and
gonna live a
I
long
just,
time thinking like that.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. He
See?
would tell me,
See?
bro, you got to take it easy. And I had to sit back
Yeah.
and reflect on that. I'm like, you know what? He's right. Like, I'm so accustomed to just here, there, moving it. Like, and now when I go, bro,
Mm.
I take my time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
relax. I sit
Yeah.
back and I look at the
Smell the
scenery.
flowers.
Yeah,
Smell
facts,
all the flowers. All
facts,
the
facts. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I feel,
uh,
the main thing, I feel like a lot of us as black men, we deprived of that,
yeah.
deprived of, you know, being catered to,
Yeah. Yeah.
deprived of seeing, more than what we accustomed to seeing, man.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when I looked at my YouTube analytics, on my channel, I seen that majority of my followers are 30, 40 plus. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay. With that being said, I need to really target more of the younger brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And teaching them and and helping them to understand that y'all don't gotta wait to you 30 and 40 to make it happen. The time for y'all is now. I was telling my friend the other day. I said, man, I wish I had somebody to mentor me.
Mm,
When I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Teaching me how to elevate myself, the value of dollar, how to invest, where because I was always making money. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? I think
Yeah,
the problem with me was having somebody teach me where to put my money, where to
where
put
to
my
put that
money,
money.
so that I can have investments later on. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I think that that's our biggest problem as minorities. We don't empower our children enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's up to us to break that generational curse, man.
Yeah.
Break it, and really, really help to empower the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean we're the only African Americans, Latinos. We the only race that really don't set our kids up for generational wealth, man. You
True.
know, we the only
That's
ones
true.
that don't do it.
That's true.
We die out, leave our kids here struggling and having
Mm-hmm.
to fend for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really believe that we have to break that, and this is another one of the reasons why I stepped outside of the box and built this house in DR. Because I'm just like, yo, as you know, we live in New York. Even though we make good money, bro, to buy something like it's unfortunate that we can't afford to buy something where we live. Like you from Harlem, I'm in Brooklyn, making good money, still can't. They don't priced us out. You know, so now it's like, okay, I got to take that money somewhere else and
Mm-hmm.
make it and make it happen. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I put my money in DR, and
Mm-hmm.
not just that. You in DR, you will see a faster return in terms of real estate. One of my boys, he bought a house for 100,000 during the pandemic. Now his house is worth 250,000. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
He's ready to sell. He's ready to sell. So these are the kind of things I try to enlighten people on in terms of investing their money in real estate, especially in DR, because it is an unregulated market, and you can get land for a reasonable price. And once that land is yours, you ain't got to worry about the government taking it away because you done defaulted on your taxes. The system
Mm.
is just different in
Out there.
comparison to the system here. In the
Mm.
United States, we'll never own anything. Never.
Mm.
The house is ours, but the land is never ours. You know what I mean? It's never ours. So
Mm.
yeah, that's the difference between. And don't get me wrong. I mean, investing in the United States, it definitely has its pros for sure. But when I'm talking about long term, generational wealth and that property being in my family for generations to come, like that house will be there until I'm dead and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll never be taken away. You know, Even if my family decided not to pay the taxes on it, the government's just not going to come and take my property away from my family. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That
yeah.
makes sense. Listen, I want everyone to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification button. Share the channel also. I'm here with my good brother Jay Day Traveler. We
J
on
Day the
here with,
Traveler.
yeah,
Yeah, for
Jay
those of
Day
you
the
guys that
Traveler.
check out the channel, J Day the Traveler. I got a lot of content out there, guys. Been traveling to DR since 2016. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all can see the journey from then till now, man. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So just I want y'all to subscribe to his channel, subscribe to mine's, and he has tons of content on there. All right,
And
Cuzzo, what's
also,
going on?
I'll be going out there, guys. I'll be out there April 1st to the. I'll be out there for a full month. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all stay tuned for the content. I'm gonna have a lot of content. Just me vibing in DR, man. Like everyday
Mm-hmm.
life scenes, so you guys can get an idea, of the kind of things that I do when I'm out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most times, I'm just eating good organic
Good
food.
food. Oh, that's what I'm looking to do when I go out
Yeah,
there. Eat
eating
some
good.
good organic food, man. Like for real. Cuzzo, we on here talking about my good brother right here. He has a vacation home that he's building in Dominican Republic as we speak. How close are you to finishing it? What's the percentage you
Bro,
think
it's been a 3 year journey for me. I'll be done by the end of this year. I'm
end
looking
of this
at
year?
Yeah, I'm hoping by September. Yeah, I'm looking at September, and then once I'm done with that, I plan on building another little, like a, cause see where my house is up in the mountains.
Mm,
I'm not too far from the mix. I'm nestled up in the mountains, but when I'm ready to get up in the mix, I'm 10 minutes away from the mix. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And up there where my house is, land is relatively inexpensive. So I'm like, yo, and I tell people this all the time, bro. You remember how Harlem was, how Brooklyn was back in the day. There was parts of Harlem and parts of Brooklyn people didn't want to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Now they done came in and changed it up. Bed-Stuy ain't no longer Bed-Stuy, it's Stuyvesant Heights. White people have moved all up in there and bought all them brownstones, and now they worth over $1 million. So
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, when it comes to buying land, it doesn't matter where it's at. Land is land. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When people told me not to buy up there, I didn't listen to them because they didn't see the vision that I seen. And I said to myself, well, if nobody else buys, I'm gonna buy as much as I can up here my damn self and gentrify it myself. You see what I'm
Facts.
saying? Yeah, yeah. So once I'm done with this one project, my house, I'm gonna build a tiny home. Not a maybe like 68 square meters. Two
Mm-hmm.
bedroom, two bath. And what I planned on doing on that is it's a small plot, but it's big enough to build a nice two-bedroom, two-bath, and build it high up so where I can drive the car under it. And
Mm-hmm.
that investment is going. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to buy more land, and I'm going to build another house. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to flip that. Yeah, I'm going to flip. It's going to cost me about maybe 25,000 to do this house, and then when it's all said and done, I'm going to flip it for about 85, 90. Keep it under
Okay.
100,000. And then the profit off of that, I'll buy more land and just build another house, and just keep
Mm-hmm.
monopolizing like that. It can be done. It can be done. Yeah, even if you buy land out there and just sit on it for 2 years, 3 years, it's definitely going to appreciate for sure, for sure. And,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not talking about. You see the difference between like real estate here and DR. Let's just say example here, like Bushwick. You want to buy a house in Bushwick in a certain community. All those houses in that community are pretty much priced around the same amount. One house might be worth 320, 300. They're between 320 to like 360 in that community, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
now the difference between here and there in DR, you want to move in a community. That community, one house might be 400,000, the other house might be 100 million, a hundred
Okay.
thousand. You see what I'm saying? So there is no uh, regulations in terms of how much you should charge to sell your house, how much you should sell your house for. You see what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with an unregulated market as a buyer or even as a seller, it can work in your favor either way. Yeah, either way, you
Wow.
know?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So the okay, yeah, generational wealth. So the vacation home, right?
hmm
Are you gonna eventually flip that house, or are you just gonna keep that as like a vacation home
Well,
or your home in general?
I'm right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Because when it's all said and done, we're talking about 6 bedrooms. One of them is the office. 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, and a pool. If somebody buy, if I want to keep it for myself, but if somebody comes at me and they give me a price that I can't refuse,
You gotta
bro,
keep.
I'm selling. I'm selling. Yeah,
But
I'm gonna
after that
sell.
vacation, home is initially built, you said you're gonna start on getting a rental property out there also.
No, I'm not gonna do the
No.
rental property. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna do rental properties in DR. It's not worth doing a rental property unless you are doing like a 10 family unit. You know what I mean? And the
Mm.
only reason why I'm saying this is because let's say you spend 200,000 to build a 10 family unit. Just go figure. You spend 200,000, right? Now, when it comes to renting out rentals in Dominican Republic, it's not like here. You're not going to see the kind of return that you would see here on a $200,000 investment. You build these apartments. You're more than likely only going to get $200 to $300 a month for each apartment. Do you know how
That's
long it's
right.
going to
That's
take?
right.
Do you
That's
know how
right.
long it's going
That's
to take you
right.
to recoup that money?
Yeah, the
It's going
price
to
of
take you.
living out there is
It's
definitely
cheaper.
cheap.
It's
So
cheaper, right? So, what?
Airbnb
Not even, not
not
even, not even. I don't even recommend that. Now,
ah
if you one of those people that plans on moving down there and you're gonna manage your Airbnb and you're there to manage it and you're living there on a fixed income, that's one thing. But for people that's looking to invest their money, I tell people if you have the money, build a multi-family unit and sell the apartments. Sell them. Let's say you do 6 apartments, you keep
yeah.
one for yourself and you sell 5. You see what I'm saying? Because
Oh,
you're going to see a faster return on selling them rather than Airbnb them. You know, people people don't understand. You got a lot of people. Oh, I want to do Airbnb. I want to do Airbnb. They don't really know the logistics of how Airbnb works until they get into it, and then like, damn, I didn't know that. Because what happens is if you're renting out an Airbnb, you got to keep in mind if you're not there to manage it, who's going to manage it? That's
true.
that's that's money you got to kick out every month. Then Airbnb takes 30% of your profit, bro. They
Hmm.
take 30%. A lot of brothers that I do know that have Airbnbs out there, they rent their rental properties out word of mouth to avoid having to pay Airbnb a percentage because
Yeah.
they want Airbnb is taking 30% of that, bro.
Whew.
They're taking 30%. So that's why I said, is it really worth
It's not.
Airbnb?
It's not.
It's not.
It's
It's
not.
just not
It's
worth
not.
it. It's
It's not.
not. It's not. So
Wow.
I'm gonna do the whole tiny house movement because I had to really brainstorm things. And I tell people when you are investing in the country, look at like my thing is okay. My where my house is in a tourist town, a tourist city. So I started brainstorming. I said, okay, since I know that there's a lot of tourists that live in Puerto Plata and Dominican Republic, what could I bring there that's not there? What can what can I bring there that is not already there?
Hmm.
Especially
Hmm.
when you got a whole bunch of people starting to move down here from the United States and Canada and Europe
Hmm.
and stuff. What can I bring there to make more
Hmm.
money? So I started brainstorming. I said, you know what? Health and fitness, juice bars, yoga instructors. You know what I mean? Yeah, spas. Spas, facials. These kind of things that we as Americans we like to pamper ourselves. So now that the population is growing,
Hmm.
these are the kind of things that I want to bring to Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? And then now that I
Hmm.
have, what makes it easier for me versus somebody that's just starting out, I have a platform on YouTube. I have a decent following. I got what 2,300 followers. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I already have a following. So it's easier for me, to grow my business, whatever business I plan on growing out there. It'd be easier for me to grow my business only because I already have a following. Opposed to
Hmm.
somebody that's just starting out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah.
makes sense. Did you get an LLC prior to starting with the property?
No, I didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't plan on doing that until I'm living down there full time. Because
Okay.
once you open up, they call it a SNL. Once you open that up down there, then now you're required to pay taxes. And I'm
Like you're
not
running a
trying to pay
business.
taxes in the United States and in Dominican Republic. No, I
Hmm.
don't plan on doing that. So my plan is to, now that I have ties in Dominican Republic, my plan is to get my residency. And start the residency process. And then once I start the residency process, um, that will, then I will go ahead and work on doing the SNL. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
yeah, once I'm down here as a full resident, then I'm not required to pay taxes in the United States anymore because I'm a
Hmm.
Dominican resident. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Hmm. Makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Future World Films. just stepped in the room. That's
Uh, uh,
another,
Kaboom.
yeah,
Okay, okay. So you know him personally, bro? You
yeah,
know him?
yeah,
Oh, that's crazy because I see Future World Films. I've never met him in person. I don't even know what he looked like, but the brother does support the channel a lot. So shout
yeah,
out to Future World Films, man. I appreciate you.
yeah.
Appreciate
That's
the
big.
support.
That's big, bro, for real. He's always out there in Dominican Republic too.
Wow, that's a small world. Wow,
Yeah, he's
wow.
always out there, man. I'm actually trying to get out there when I after I graduate in May, maybe like
Hmm.
around either June or August. I'm aiming for
Okay.
August. You
Well,
know what I
bro, let
mean?
me know.
So
Let me know. Let's do it. I think we off the same weekends too, right?
yeah. Or you
Yeah.
well,
So
whatever. I'm taking off. We'll figure it out.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man. But
Yeah.
I've always, man, I be my bro be like, Jay, you be preaching it to you on my channel. He's like, you preaching to the choir. My thing is, man, I'm
It's
just,
culture. It's a culture.
it is. It really is. And we gotta do better as a whole, as black people. You know what I'm saying? One thing I will say, it's a lot of us out in Dominican Republic making it happen, man. It's a lot of us out there making it happen. And it's just refreshing to see, to be able to converse with brothers and sisters that's on the same page, and a lot of
Hmm.
us is trying to get out of the matrix only because of the quality of life that we deserve, not desire, but we deserve. You know what I mean? Like
Amen. Amen.
when you get to a certain age, I'm like I
Yes,
said, I'm
yes.
45. I'm past all the materialistic shit, man. What counts for me the most is just having a quality of life. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Being able to get up and enjoy doing what you want to do. Fuck the money. You know,
Hmm.
just being
Hmm.
able to do what you want to do and be happy doing it, man. And living in DR, it doesn't require you to have a whole lot of money to do it.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's funny you say that, man. It's like, because Future, he always says the same thing. He's like, yo, Mont, man, it's like paradise out there. He's like, yo, he said, America is hell compared to DR. You know what I
And then
mean? It's so important, it's crazy.
I tell people go where you are appreciated. You know what I'm
Appreciate it.
saying, and accept it.
Go where you're appreciated, not tolerated.
Tyler, exactly. Yo, Future World. He said he's gonna be out there in 2 weeks. So am I. So am I,
Oh,
bro. So let's link up. If you're gonna be in
there you
Puerto
go.
Plata, bro, I'll be out there April 1st through the 30th. Try to stay a whole month.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So yeah, man. If you're gonna be out in the Puerto Plata area, bro, link me up. Let's make it happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a live while you out there in DR, bro.
Of course, of course. Most time, like majority of time when I'm out there, I'm always, shooting properties, and now I want to give more of myself, like people seeing what the things that I do
Mhm.
outside of me just listing properties and stuff like that. And sometimes I do, like when I'm like the weekends I like to go to the river, and that's another thing I tell the bros, because a
Mhm.
lot of the bros, when they go to DR, all they think about is Sosua. Don't get me wrong. So
Mm.
Sosua is nice, but Sosua is about this big, bro.
What is
It's
Sosua? What is that?
it's like the man's paradise,
Oh, okay.
yes, the man's paradise. But bro, it's about that big. You know what I mean?
Ah,
And
shit.
I tell brothers, if you going out there for 2 weeks or more, y'all got to spread your time out. Spread your time out and see what else is out there opposed to just so sewer. I move around. I move
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
I
yeah,
move. I
yeah.
be out. I be outside. I do. I don't just. And to be honest with you, so sewer is nice to see. It's a movie. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. On a good Sunday, on a good weekend, it's a movie.
Mm.
Summertime, oh, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. But, for a person that's living out there, that's looking to make a life out there for themselves, Sosua is the last place you want to live. And my
Mhm.
boy said it. He's from Holland. He's got an investment property. He's building his house in Susua, and he was out there for a month. And he called me. He said, "Jay, I'm on my way back to Holland, man." He was like, "Look, He said, Sosua is nice. He said, but I could not live here full time. He said, I couldn't do it. He said, I couldn't do it. And I said, I know, because who wants to be in a place where you being haggled, every
Hmm.
day on the
Yeah.
beach. Some days you just want to go and chill and listen to your
Hmm.
music and eat your food. At Sosua Beach, bro, if it ain't the women coming up to you for massages, if it ain't the girls, trying to, do a happy, pay for play, if it ain't that, if it ain't you got the dude selling the shrimp, then after that you
Hmm.
got the Haitian lady selling the can. It's like, yo, and by the time you're done, you got a headache because everybody that coming up to you trying to sell something. You know what I mean? And if you
Hmm.
live in there full time, who wants to be haggled like that every day? Every
So
day.
yeah, so my
Yeah.
guy says Puerto Plata is where you live. I guess that's where you relax. So
He's
you take your joint from Sosua to Puerto Plata.
right, right. And that's why in Future World Films, that's exactly why my house is in Puerto Plata. Because, I could never see myself living there. Like he said, Puerto Plata is where you live. And when you want to get in the mix and get into all of that little activity, you go down and head down there to Sosua.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm. All
yeah,
right, that's what's up. That's game. All right,
yeah.
so if you could go back and change one thing about this experience, what would it be?
Whoo. Mm. I think I wouldn't have got caught up so quick with the first girl that I met. You know,
Ooh.
yeah. And I tell brothers, be careful when it comes to that, because and sisters too, because you got the hanky pankies out there too, that be propositioning, vulnerable women, Sankey, I think it's Sankey Pankies or some shit like that. It's just basically like a gigolo,
Mm-hmm.
gigolo. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would tell people to be cautious of that. Don't get so caught up into the first. Don't get caught up with the first person you meet, because I'm not gonna lie to you. They have that. It's just something about them in their culture and their nature to reel out that fish hook and reel your ass in, and then you
Yeah.
sit and yeah, yeah, the first girl I met, man, she was decent, cooking me breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wake up, I got food sitting, like look, you see how I got food right here. I wake up like,
Hallelujah.
yo,
Hallelujah.
so yeah, so that kind of treatment will get us sucked in, So I always tell people, be very cautious, trust no one, and take your time. Take
Take
your
your
time.
time. Relax.
Take
Go.
your
Whoops.
time. Yeah,
This.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. He says,
yeah,
"Sankey Panky, male gigolo for single white or foreign woman."
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Wow, that was
yeah.
that was a great piece of advice right there. Just relax.
Take your time, because
Mm,
that one girl that I ended up with, that ended up being a 2-year relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't get a chance to test the waters till after the fact. And I'm like, damn, I was missing all of this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I tell brothers and sisters that making a trip out there for the first time, take
mm.
your time.
All right. Cool.
Breathe
Cool.
in,
Cool.
inhale, exhale.
Smell the
Woosah.
smell the flowers.
Yeah.
Smell the flowers.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to someone thinking about building a home or investing in real estate abroad?
Um, I would just say do your due diligence by doing your research. Research in the country. Before you even think of consider making an investment, you got to go down there for at least no less than a month to give it a feel. You know what I'm saying? To see whether or not you can see yourself living there. You need to be there at least. Okay. Even though I was only there, my first trip I was only there for 7 days, but I've been traveling there for the past almost 9 years to say that I could see myself living there. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I always tell people, stay there no less than a month, feel it out, learn all that you can know about the country, and most of all, try learning the language. Yo, yes, I'm here because I was on a one to one. I'm on my live. We'll talk. Yeah, you good. No, but yeah, most of all, learning the language is very, very, very important. Especially if you're trying to invest in that country. I'm at maybe like 45, 50% speak fluent when it comes to Spanish. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And yeah, I try to learn something, teach myself something every day. Until I become fluent enough to speak it fluently. But yeah, it's very important that you must learn the language and do your research and go into, because like for me, there's a big expat community. For those of you guys who don't know what expat is, it's just another name for people who left the states to go to another country and make a life for themselves. So that's the new name, new terminology for expat. So just do your research in that country. Um, get into Facebook groups, get into WhatsApp groups. I mean, I'm in a whole lot of groups, because it's a big movement of us.
Hmm.
So you want to make those connections with people that have already done it and have been through the process, so that it can help you, maybe it'll make your transition easier. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. So
yeah.
you have a Facebook group. All right. So share that with me when we get off the live.
Yeah,
And
I'm in,
I
I'm
could
in, I'm in,
share
a,
it.
I'm in some WhatsApp groups. I'm in some Facebook groups. And these groups are very, very, resourceful for people who are looking to navigate themselves in Dominican Republic. You know what I mean? Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll
And
share that. Yeah.
whatever country you look into, it doesn't even have to be DR. There are so many groups out there, man. You just gotta search them in Facebook, and you'll find them. You'll definitely find them for sure.
Wow. So what's the best way to learn the language? Other than apps or.
For me, I took beginner Spanish in school. So that was a foundation for me. Learning in school early on in school. But I find Babel to be very, very resourceful. Informative. It is a really good app. I did it for 1 year. It really, really goes into depth on how to speak Spanish or whatever language you want to learn. So I always say that.
What's the name of that
Listening
app
to
called?
Babel, Babel,
Okay.
Babel or Babel. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It teaches you how to learn whatever language you want to learn. So I found that to be helpful. Um, you know, Talking to my Spanish friends, using Google Translate,
Hmm.
going back and forth. We work in the hospital and we work with a lot of Spanish people. So,
Use that opportunity.
I try to speak as much Spanish as I can, because even though you might learn it, but if you're not using it, you lose it, and that's with
You lose it.
anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I try to speak as much Spanish as I can, so that
Hmm.
I remember what I'm learning. So
Hmm.
yeah, those, and like I said, listening to music, putting subtitles on your whatever you're watching on TV. If you want to learn, your subtitles should be in Spanish. I mean, your subtitles should be in English, and they should be speaking in Spanish. So
Hmm.
that kind of helps too. Listening to music and watching TV, and yeah, those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone too. My cousin said.
Uh huh. Uh huh. You
Yeah,
got some
it's all.
some comments. Some people are.
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting at them. Yeah, Nova Nine, it's all good, man. I know you in school. I know you doing a baseball thing. You know what I mean? But this is a good live for you to catch. This is a young brother too. I think he's like in high school or something.
Uh huh.
So he follows the channel. So this will be a good live for you to watch once we're done. This is a
And
good
then
brother.
also,
Yeah,
I want to say that I'm glad that he's on
yeah.
Nova Nine, because I'm really trying to target more the younger population, especially on my channel. So be sure to check out the channel. And when I go down there, I met a young brother on my channel that reached out to me, and I was just like, I had to give this young brother his flowers, because this brother is 28 years old. Already has investment properties in Texas, and he reached out to me because he wants to build a house. So I
Mm,
told, yeah. So we was just chopping it up. Like, man, I got a lot of young brothers that reach out to me, and I will say the younger generation, man, they're doing their thing, man. I
salute,
gotta give them their
salute.
flowers, because the advantage that they have over us is the use of technology. You know, we were. I think I was born in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? So technology didn't start hitting until like, you know, like the late, like
Hmm.
early '90s to late, you know, late '90s. You know,
Early 2000s, low key. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. So the younger generation, they have that over us, you know,
Big time.
and it has enabled a lot of them, because I know a lot of them that are working remotely. You know, I got this
Hmm.
one viewer from my channel. He taught himself how to become a he does digital marketing.
Mm.
I said, when I was talking to him, he's from Harlem, and he said, I'm gonna be in, because he wanted to link up with me. He said, well, I'm gonna be in Mexico for 2 months, and I'm gonna be here, and I'm like, bro, what kind of work you do? I said, put me on. Tell me something I don't know. He said, man, I learned how to do digital marketing on YouTube.
Wow.
And that has enabled him to work remotely and just doing remote work. And he's living his life bouncing around different countries, you know? Yeah.
Wow. Learning
Yeah.
digital, Nova. Learn digital marketing, brother. I'm writing that down right now. And it is never
Yeah.
too late to learn
Let me
something
let me
new.
let me tell you something before we end this live. It was another that's that has happened to me when it comes to starting this YouTube channel. I have met a lot of influential, positive, educated brothers and sisters, man. I mean, the circle of support and people that I have come across, and
Hmm.
you know, some of them call me, and you know, I do consultations, but this one particular brother, you know, what he told me, because he does marketing too. You know, I forgot to
Hmm.
what degree, but I told him, I said, listen, you know, I plan on moving to DR soon. You know, I want to be making money just to sustain myself. You're
Hmm.
working from home. Just tell me what it is that I could do, you know, to where I could, you know, start making money. And you know what he told me? He
What?
said, if you don't listen to anything else that I tell you, AI. He said
Oh yeah.
A. He said, let me tell you. He said, brother,
Chat GPT. You know it. We
yes,
was talking about
yes,
that. Chat
yeah,
GPT. My
yeah.
best
Oh yeah,
friend.
yeah, man. He
And I got
told
the
me. He said,
$20 a month one plus.
it's worth every cent, my brother. It's worth every cent. So for those of you guys who are looking, man, AI is the move. It's where
Hmm.
it's at. And
Hmm.
if you looking to make money, just start learning how to. And he told me, well, I said, well, how am I going to use it? He said, you got a YouTube channel, right? You ask AI, what can I do to elevate my YouTube channel? What
Marketing
the
or whatever.
marketing?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it tells you,
Breaks it down step
it
by
breaks it,
step.
man. You got the homework and the math for you to learn it. It's there. I think our problem is just being consistent and taking the time out to learn this stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
Discipline
yeah,
and taking the time out to learn it. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts or lessons you'd like to share, brother?
Uh, I'm just gonna say, you know, to all my minorities, you know what I mean, my minorities, we just got to do better as a whole. You know, just keep uplifting each other, man, and
Hmm.
let's just break the generational curses by empowering each other. You know, each one teach one, and
Facts,
helping each other to elevate so that we can all, you know, be where we should be. You know, and stop struggling and trying to get there.
facts, facts,
Yeah,
facts. All right,
yeah.
good brother.
I appreciate you, bro. And guys,
Appreciate you
be
too.
sure to check me out. J Day, Jayday, the Traveler. I'll be in DR, as I said, the first week of April. I got a lot of content coming out, so y'all be sure to check me out. I appreciate all the love and support, guys. And bro, I appreciate you having me. And let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Got you, bro.
All right,
All right,
bro.
later.
Later.